the realistic side of finding out your child's got leukemia. Do not take life for granted.
For those who don't know us, this is me, Scott. This is my wife, Katie, and this is our son, Super Ted. We are the Bridge family, trying to get the most out of this rat race we all call life. On the 24th of February 2023, our whole world got turned upside down when we got told our 9-month-old son had been diagnosed with high-risk Aml Leukaemia. For anyone that doesn't know what that stands for, it's acute myeloid leukemia, which is a type of blood cancer. Yes, I said it. Cancer. As you can imagine, life froze. Every parent's worst nightmare was happening right in front of our eyes. With childhood cancer happening more and more frequently across the world, we decided to document our journey from start to finish to raise awareness and give cancer within children the exposure it deserves. We hope these videos give people a raw, detailed insight into what's involved, the treatment, the day-to-day hospital life, the emotions that come with having a child with cancer. So ladies and gentlemen, buckle up as we take you along on this whirlwind of a journey to save our son's life. And remember, live for today, as tomorrow is never promised. So if you're interested in following our journey, don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can stick with us on this battle against cancer. Look at those platelets, Tilly. 101 with no transfusion. Neutrophils still at 5.1. And lymphocytes, the first time ever, above 1. Go on, the Teddy B.
So today is Friday, which means ward round, which we have just had, and they're really happy with him. They're potentially talking about starting and reintroducing feed through his NG tube today, which will be tiny amounts. We're talking like 10 millilitres every 4 hours, just to see if his stomach can put up with it, and then if all is well, then we can increase it to 20 mil and 30 mil and so on and so forth. But other than that, we've just got to wait and see how he deals with these feeds, and if all being well, we can then carry on reducing his steroids, and then hopefully we can talk about discharge again. So it's a really positive ward round, and fingers crossed that he manages to stomach these feeds well.
Other aunties coming today, say yeah.
Yeah.
Say auntie. Good boy. Say thumbs up. Say yeah.
Who's this? Hello. Is it snack time?
Teddy's angel of an Auntie Hayley has been incredible throughout Teddy's journey, not only being there to support us and give us breaks, but also to create an incredible, unbreakable bond with our boy. Talking of breaks, myself and Katie popped out for an hour for a beer in the sun whilst Teddy slept, which is very much needed. The day that we don't have to press that button will be a good day. Another lovely day spent with Auntie Hayley. It was time for her to head home.
It has been a lovely day up here in London. My sister came up here today to just spend some time with Teddy. Gave myself and Katie some time out of the hospital, which is very much needed, just to kind of get out and breathe some fresh air and just be husband and wife again, you know? Yeah, which has been lovely. So all in all, it has been a very good day. We get an opportunity tonight to be able to introduce a milk feed into Teddy and to put it in perspective in terms of how cautious we need to be with introducing milk feeds again. We're going to introduce 10 mils every 4 hours, which is an absolutely tiny amount of milk to be given a baby of that sort of age, but that's how and what we need to be doing to just be cautious that he's not going to suddenly start having chronic diarrhea again or being sick or anything like that. So that's going to be going in at 7, which is roughly in about 15-20 minutes, because he had his meds about half an hour ago, so we're being cautious with that as well. But yeah, to be able to be introducing milk into him again is a huge step. So fingers crossed all goes well. But for now, that ends another day, and let's hope for a very peaceful and resting night for myself and Teddy. Nighttime medication. This morning we're starting our morning slightly different, aren't we, Teds? We thought we would try some jam on toast, and the first square has gone in. Success. Second piece has gone in. This is like Nature Watch. Our first baby shark of the morning should be at full energy. Here we go. What's it going to be like? Oh. Well, I'm not going to lie, I was expecting more than that. But it is a Saturday morning after all, so we'll let him off. We are now on Sunday. It's crazy to think that we should be home by now, and this journey up here at Great Ormond Street should have been over by now, but it is still far from over. We're still battling through each day. So far so good, and we're pushing forward every day as that goes by. Teddy has started milk this morning, so we've given him 10 mils of milk every 4 hours. So by now, being 12:30, he should have had his second 10 mils of milk. Hopefully his stomach will be able to keep hold of it rather than just eject it straight out, but only time will tell with that. So we just keep plugging along, and we finally get to leave the hospital tomorrow, myself and Katie, because my mum is coming up for the night, and she's actually staying up for 2 nights, so we have some time away from the hospital, which will be amazing, but looking forward to that. We have just taken some scissors to Teddy's oxygen tube and cut it off him finally, because he hasn't needed it for the last couple of nights, as we need to repair those. So he doesn't have anything hanging off his back anymore. He's just got 2 little spikes, which we will sort out in a minute. Once again, this is another job that we didn't want to do, but we had to get used to, as replacing an NG tube sticker is something that we'll have to do at home. So it was time to put our big boy pants on and get it done as quickly as possible for our boy. Success! Even though it's a little bit crinkled, we have fresh NG tube sticker on, which reduces the chance of it coming out, which is a big task done. To cheer Teddy up, it was time for some arts and crafts to make our own bunting for our room. Finally, it felt like all those years of watching Art Attack as a kid were finally paying off.
Bloody carnage.
Just when we thought that things were on the up, just got a message from Kate Teddy spiked a fever, 190 beats per minute for his heart rate, 38.5 fever, back on antibiotics, which is exactly what led him to having the chronic shits last time, and therefore being massively dehydrated because of the amount he was pooing, and therefore nearly being sent to ICU. Massive back step, huge back step. This whole process just feels like it's one step forward, two steps back. He's been amazing the last 2-3 days. Only bad symptoms he had was just like a big cough and just looking slightly pale, but on his bloods today, his blood results are amazing. Slightly low on his red blood cells, but I guess it's just another bump in the road of having a child with cancer. In very close contact with Kate, who's in the hospital tonight. My mum's meant to be coming up tomorrow to relieve us for 2 nights, but obviously we're going to still be in the hospital in the day. So God knows what's going to go on with that, but either way, we're going to power on through it. Come on, Teddy bear, you can do it. God, I look exhausted. I literally look like a overgrown thumb. Acute cancer. Just gotta quickly pack my stuff up because Teddy is not managing to get his temperature down. His blood sugar levels are low. They're having to give him fluid boluses. It's now like 4:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna go and just pack my bag just in case Kate needs me to just come and help. It's just one step forward, 5 steps back, man. So I've got the message. And Kate is struggling, bless her. She cannot get Teddy's temperature down. Still sat up between 38 and 39. He's puffing like a train and she's barely slept, so I'm going to go and relieve her just so she can have a lay down, because even if he is asleep, you don't get a chance to sleep. Nurses constantly coming in and checking, and don't know what's causing this, but all blood cultures, as always, have been taken, so we shall see what is going on with our Teddy B. Even though it's a long shot, it could be a second round of GVHD because of the fact that they've reduced his steroids right down, but it'd be a little bit quick to be that, so but it could be, who knows. He usually responds really well to his paracetamol to get his temperature down, but it doesn't seem to be this time. Plus his blood sugars are low. Lots of different things going on, but we shall watch it unfold as we go. Let's see what happens, but now I need to find a line bike and get myself to hospital. Is roasting. We couldn't help but think and feel that we were going back down a horrible path. But we just had to react in the only way we know. Positive energy from top tier entertainment for our boy.
4 little blue fish swimming in the water. 4 little blue fish swimming in the water. 4 little blue fish swimming in the water. Bubble, 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 pop.
With Teddy's fever under control and Nanny Sue had arrived and filled us with confidence that our time away from the hospital was so important, she would call if any problems.
We have been released from the hospital for flipping first time in like 8 weeks. But my mum is back from France now, who is our third carer. And oh my God, I just run over a pigeon. Yeah, and so hopefully, providing that Teddy doesn't spike a fever or doesn't go horribly south, we have the night off, or potentially 2 nights. So yeah, I'm just driving back to Paul's house now to go and have a shower, and then we're just going to head out for the evening. But the sun is shining, fingers crossed Teddy is all good, but if not, we'll be heading back to the hospital to support Mum and get through it all together. But for now, time to breathe.
update on last night and today. As Scott's already mentioned, Teddy had a bit of a rough night, as did I with him. He spiked a fever early into the evening, and no matter what they tried, they could not get it down. So he was holding it around 38.5, 39 degrees all night, and was tachycardic with a pulse of over 200 for most of the night. So his little heart was ticking away at way too fast. He was breathing like a steam train. His little body was just working way too hard. Most of the night his blood pressure was okay, but they were slightly worried at one point because his blood pressure dropped, which is an indication of heading towards sepsis. So they gave him a fluid bolus, and in fact gave him 2 in the end, just to help increase the fluid in his blood, to help with everything pumping around. Things seemed to stable out by this morning, and his temperature came back down, and he hasn't had a fever since. We had the consultant round today, just an on-duty one, not a normal BMT one, but he covers oncology patients anyway, so he's very familiar with the process. He seems to think that Teddy has had what's known as a septic shower, which is where there might be some sort of bacteria growing in his central line, and as the nurses are accessing it all the time for medications, they push the medication in, and it's basically flushed that bacteria straight into his bloodstream and subsequently all around his body, which can be very dangerous. He also mentioned that based on Teddy's clinical presentation, and only that, because they don't know at the moment, he suspects it's what's known as a gram-negative bacteria, which can be even more dangerous because they are more resistant to antibiotics. So he's been started on the 2 baseline antibiotics for a fever, which is piptaz and amikacin, and fortunately they've also started him on Tyke as well to try and cover as many bases as possible. Until we have the blood cultures back, we will not know what has caused the fevers, if anything at all, but we're just praying that it is not gram-negative bacteria, because if so, there's a small chance, a big chance actually, that they might have to remove the central line for his own safety. We'll see what the next 24 hours bring, praying for no more fevers, and hoping that we get a few hours just to ourselves, at least a little bit tonight, whilst Nanny babysits Teddy. But yeah, we'll see what tonight brings, and we are ready to go back at any moment should anything change.
With Teddy at the forefront of our mind and being ready to head back to the hospital at any moment, we try to occupy our minds with a spot of golf. Although it was nice to be out, we couldn't stop checking our phones. But as we have always said, don't worry about things until they present themselves, so we try to concentrate on being present with each other. And because Paul's house is only single beds, we decided that the loser of golf sleeps on the floor. So ladies and gentlemen, cue some pretty ropey golf. Fair to say, this wasn't Katie's best performance.
Yeah, I think that's best.
4. And it turns out that I was just as shit as Kate. Oh, flipping hell, not the loop. We could be here a while. It's fair to say, I think the Prosecco had successfully calmed the nerves, but also kicked in.
Just for the record, I think my bum crack's hanging out, but that was a hole in one. Lol. Somebody's sleeping on the floor tonight.
And here it was, hole 9, the big wheel. It was time to add up the scores and see who was on the floor.
On the floor, on the floor, on the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't even tell you who's first or second. Well, he was first and she was second.
First the worst, second the best.
That was enough swinging for one night. Time to have a couple of drinks on the direction of home. Now the bet was settled, normality was back and hospital chat had resumed. The time where was great and we had such a lovely time, but both of our heads were firmly set in the hospital.
The truth of being away from Teddy is that this is meant to be relaxing, but we do nothing but talk about him, talk about cancer, talk about our future, which is unknown, and just worry about how my mum is dealing with Teddy. There's nothing relaxing about this at all. We just keep reminding ourselves that it's nice just to be outside the hospital environment, just being with each other. Then we're going to head home, get some sleep, just in case Teddy spikes fever.
Just had a message saying that Teddy is okay, all his oxygen and SATs and observations are well, so yeah, we can enjoy the last half an hour of our night before we go home to bed. So that means we're going to stop off for a quick bed for our genie just before we go home.
We cannot tell you how relieved we were to receive a message from Mum telling us that Teddy was okay. It meant that we could just enjoy the rest of our evening. And one last drink, semi-worry free.
So we've been on edge all night, not really heard much from Sue, but half an hour ago we heard that Teddy was doing great and all his blood gases are perfect. Yeah, he's actually doing really well and Sue is comfortable and she's actually bumped into one of our favourite nurses from Elephant Park, Ricardo, so that was really lovely. A bit jealous, we almost needed to rush back to the hospital just to give him a cuddle. Ultimately things are great and she has said to us, and I'll read it to you directly, hopefully we'll all wake fresh as daisies tomorrow, Teddy included. Check in the morning and if all is okay here, as in the hospital, don't rush back, chill, relax, go somewhere nice for breakfast. Oh. You two both deserve a little bit of time to regroup, recharge. We're not quite there yet, but we'll be there soon.
Is that room as a single person? There is our living quarters. See you tomorrow. Look at this for living. This is the dream. Not.
Not gonna lie, free, and for a house that supports children with cancer, it's quite comfy.
There we go. For us, we are here and checking out. And remember,
Live for today.
as tomorrow is never promised.